All right, shalom. First and foremost, before I begin this lesson, I want to give all praises, glory, and infinite honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha Kodash. Double honors be to our apostles and our elders, great millstone to rule well. Peace, blessing, salutations be to the hopefully elect. All right, Lord, let this lesson is edifying to the lambs of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, which is the entire purpose of this video. All right. I'm going to briefly go into in this lesson how, the rulership needs to be changed. Okay, what I mean by that is the rulership of the planet Earth. Those who have dominion over what we know as Earth today. Okay, in the year 2021. And they have been, they, which I'm going to get into who they is. For those that may not be aware of it as of yet. When a couple things get brought out, you will definitely, you'll definitely put the piece together, man. Because there's not a lot of, there's not anybody else that fits that that type of category except one nation of people, right? But hey, man. So yeah. All right. They've been ruling since the Renaissance period, which ironically enough, and it's not actually irony, I'm just saying that, but ironically enough, Renaissance means reborn or rebirth. What was reborn? Their rulership, because the people that I'm referring to was in power during the Greeks and the Romans, and then fell down. And then you had something called the Dark Ages, or I believe they also referred to it as the Middle Ages, which was roughly a span of 1,000 years. And then Esau, Edom came back into power, right, in the 1500s. So, I'm going to go ahead and open up with Sirach 10 and 4, classic, right? Sirach 10 and 4. I can really also read 8. Sirach chapter 10 verse 4, and it reads, "The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord." It tells you, I believe it was in Daniel, the 2nd chapter, that the Lord set up the basis of men. So, Esau, Edom having dominion, which Esau, Edom is collectively known as the so-called Caucasoid race, right? Those who call themselves white today are the Edomites. Now, you have, Israelites that may appear to look like Edomites today, just like you may have you do have some Edomites who actually look like so-called Negroes, but they're Edomites, all right? And the reason this is because you may be confused. You're like, well, how does that make sense? Well, it makes sense because according to the Bible, you are what your father is. And it doesn't just stop there, because your father's seed line goes back to the beginning, right? Your father's seed line goes back to one of the 18 nations. Okay? Because remember, Noah had 3 sons, and all the nations come out of those sons. Okay? But the only nation that the Lord is dealing with came out of Shem, and then Abraham, and then Isaac, and then Jacob, all right, the Israelites. Now, it didn't go straight from Noah, Shem to Abraham. There was a lot of men in between. But just to, skip to the point. Okay, and besides, I'm going to be honest, I don't know the whole lineage. I'd have to look it up. I'd have to go on to, go through Genesis. All right, but it says, lucky. Switching lanes. Sirach 10 and 4, it says, "The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord." So really the Lord is showing us right now, the Lord is proving a point. Like, look, this is what happens when wickedness is running rampant. All right, this is what happens. You wanted to choose death in Genesis, the 3rd chapter. You didn't want to hearken unto me and follow the ways of righteousness. Salaki. Salaki. Then this is what's going to happen. This is the result. Okay? And Esau's heaven is our hell. Let's put that out there. All right, just like our heaven is going to be his hell. Because remember, heaven and hell are states. Right? They're conditions. If you're in shackles, whether it be physically or mentally, and you're being oppressed and you're being beaten down as a people, you're in hell. But the only people that are really feeling the full extent of that, being under the curses and being under captivity, constantly being under the foot of our oppressor, is the nation of Israel. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And yes, I said Latinos and Native Americans as well. It's not just you Negroes, man. You got a lot of people that seem to think that so-called black people are the only ones that have suffered hell. When there's literally books and artifacts and articles and everything in between on what happened to the Northern Kingdom. The Native Americans, so-called Mexicans and Central Americans, and those are the islands, and, So what about them? What about them? Because just like how you had blackface, and Jake, typical Jake, Southern Kingdom Jake would get pissed off at that, and rightfully so. But then they'll support they'll support the Cleveland Indians, before they change the logo, or they'll support the Redskins, and it's like, well, that's the same damn thing, except it's for your brother instead. And that shows that Jake is divided, which is another reason why this rulership needs to be ended, because our people, are not in their right mind in this rulership. All right, and the scriptures talk about how, in Isaiah the 6th chapter, how the rest of our nation is going to understand and hearken on to this ministry in the kingdom of heaven. That's when we're all going to have those new bodies in this part, the new covenant law is going to be written in us. But as of right now, the only ones that are going to get it is the elect. That's why that's one out of the billion reasons why we need this kingdom to end. And it's ending. All right, but it says, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable. Meaning what? The current ruler is not profitable in any way, shape, form, or fashion. This man is destroyed. That's why it tells you in Revelations, destroy them which destroy the earth. This man is destroying everything. The ways of life, life itself, and everything in between. This man is merciless, man. Okay? Sirach 10 and 8. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. It's going to be translated from the Edomites to the Israelites. Okay? And people can try to deny it all day. White people ain't ruling. That's cap. That is major cap, and you fucking know that. You know damn well that the so-called white race is ruling the planet Earth. The only reason it's starting to seem like, they losing a grip on it is because they are. Because they're getting taken down. They've been falling since 1969. Okay? But really, if we're going to be honest, they haven't even been ruling that long, because it tells you in, what is it, 1 Peter? That 1,000 years to us is a day to the Lord. So really, they've been ruling for like half a day. Since they came back into power. If I'm not mistaken. But hey, let me go ahead and get this. I gotta wrap it up kind of early. Job 9 and 24. Classic. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the face of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? So it's a rhetorical question. Who else could this be? Who else could this be that's covering the faces of the Israelites and, putting up fake images of God and so-called Jesus Christ? Who else could this be? I mean, when you look up Jesus Christ, or when you look up God, you're not seeing images of an Asian, right? Or an East Indian, or a Hamite, a so-called African. You're seeing a cracker. That in itself should tell you something. Which that it ties into, their iconoclasm. First Maccabees 3:48. They sought to paint the likeness of their images. This ain't no joke, man. So I had to park real quick. This is Malachi, because we're going to prove who the wicked is, because it actually tells you in the scriptures. Malachi 1:4. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we'll return and build the desolate places. And that's what they did. Like I was going into the renaissances, the rebirth. Okay? But we'll return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. And they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever, which is righteous anger or righteous hatred. All right? So the Lord, and it tells you that the Lord hates Esau. It tells you in this chapter, all right, actually right above. Slack, and it reiterates that in Romans the 9th chapter. Now, Salaki, it doesn't just mean, okay, the Lord hates Esau. Just that man Esau loves just the man Jacob. No, it's going much further than just the individual man. It's going into their descendants, their nation. Who came out of Esau? Edom, the Edomites. Who came out of Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel, the Israelites. The Lord loves Israel, and the Lord hates Jacob. In fact, in Malachi, I believe it's 3:6, it tells you that the Lord changes not. So that's one cut, right? And then it tells you that the sons of Jacob, roughly paraphrasing, are not going to be consumed. The house of Jacob. The Lord is always going to be dealing with the Israelites. Right now, he's just dealing with the elect, though. All right, the only ones that actually wanted to get right. But hey, man, that in itself, I could talk, all day about why this rulership needs to change and this, and that. But at the end of the day, that sums it up right there, because the wicked are ruling. And you should know where the wicked are ruling, there's nothing but wickedness that's taking place with that. So, like I said, we could do hour-long lessons on all the things that this man's doing, going to all these different articles. But at the end of the day, the underlining reason is because the wicked are in rulership. All right, so the righteous are going to be established very soon. So Lord, well, this was edifying to elect. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Achah HaKodash. Double honors be to the apostles and the elders of great millstone, rule well. Peace, blessing, society, and be the hopeful elect. With that said, Shalom, Mawatha Wabah.